Lord of my love, to whom in vassalage thy merit hath my duty strongly knit. To thee I send this written embassage, to witness duty, not to show my wit. Duty, so great, which wit as poor as mine may make seem bare, in wanting words to show it. But that I hope some good conceit of thine, in thy soul's thought, all naked will bestow it, till whatsoever star that guides my moving points on me graciously with fair respect, and puts apparel on my tattered loving, to show me worthy of thy great respect. Then may I dare to boast how I do love thee. Till then, not show my head where thou mayst prove me. That was Sonnet 26. This is a really, I like this metaphor. Well, this was a thought-provoking metaphor, the metaphor of vassal and lord in a loving relationship. That kind of status gap at first kind of turned me off, but then the more I thought about it, it really probably fits as a, whether or not it was a low status, high status relationship that Shakespeare felt like he had with the fair youth. There's a kind of there's a, I don't want, taboo is the wrong word for it, but there's a challenge, I guess, right, with how do you handle loving above your station or loving below your station, or loving someone that people just won't really treat you well if it were a public thing. And so that last rhyming couplet really kind of, it didn't hit me at first, but like minutes ago, it just kind of hit me that, wow, that really kind of makes sense, as Shakespeare really speaking like, hey, if we get to this point, then I might publicly say, I love you, and just shout it from the rooftops. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep this anonymity, as opposed to, you know, making public declarations of his feelings, because that's what he's been doing with all these signs. He's been writing and not declaring his love publicly by naming the fair youth, you know? So by not naming the fair youth, he's keeping his anonymity there. And so, but the status shift I found very thought-provoking. And the specific metaphor of a lord and their vassal, and then the buzzword of this sonnet, duty, was kind of, I feel like there's some overlap between duty and being a good partner. But it's like, I feel like it should be deeper than just, I am in love with this person, therefore I am duty-bound to act a certain way. I feel like that makes it seem like if it weren't for this label, I would go do other things, as opposed to, like, impose your own moral standards on yourself, and then hold yourself duty-bound to what you decide are good standards of your own behavior. And that should exist independent of a lord, another person, you know, because I just think that you'll ultimately fall short of a fulfilling and consistent way to live your life if you tie it to a specific individual and say, I'm going to act a certain way because of this person, as opposed to, I have decided upon standards for my own behavior because I think they make sense and I want to hold myself to this way of acting. Whether or not that was the intent of this particular sonnet, that's where my mind went. Because there certainly should be some overlap there, right? Like, I think it makes sense if you're in a loving relationship to hold yourself to a set of standards of fidelity and honesty and integrity and being forthright and transparent and all these things that help not just a relationship, friendship, just interacting with other humans. Those are good things to do. when you're interacting with other people. And so it works because there's a very specific feeling or tone to a soldier general vassal lord relationship. There's a specific it's a specific kind of duty, as opposed to just a nebulous low status high status relationship. So this was a thought provoking one. I really liked it. There's kind of hearkening. There's I can't remember which sonnet, but that particular line I really liked. Till whatsoever star that guides my moving. He had. I'll go back and look it up and post it in the comments what sonnet it was. But there was one that I really loved that had that kind of similar star metaphor. So yeah, this was a fun one. Yeah, Sonnet 27 next week.